what can I say? I feel like I don't even need an introduction. You guys already know. And if you don't know, you probably have already found out some way. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Anyways, I decided just to do a video a little bit about things that I have learned in this life throughout the years of just being a fly young hoe. I'm honestly over being young. Like, I'm just over it. I've had fun. I've done all the mistakes. Not all, but I've done so many mistakes. Have I learned from them? Halfway. Like, fuck. Halfway. But like, I promise this era, this age that I am, not because I'm 24. 24. Like, I just want to be 27. I'm sick and tired of being fucking 24. I want to be a grown-ass sexy woman. But anyways, I decided to do a video where I'm basically talking about the things I've learned. That means things I've learned from both rich women, wealthy women, but also like things I've learned about life, about dating as well. And I want to be very clear because now we're just going to talk naturally. Recently I have been a little bit off because I've been going through a lot of shit behind the scenes. I have a lot of trauma. I am traumatized as fuck. A lot of bad shit has happened to me ever since I was a kid, but I'm not the type of person who sits here and talks about things that have destroyed me. This is how I see in this life. Social media has kind of made people not have any common sense, which is absolutely terrifying if you really think about it, because a lot of people, when they see things on social media, they run with that narrative and just kind of like live throughout that. I know that I have like a crazy digital print, like anything crazy. I don't really regret anything and shit like that, if I'm honest with y'all, because I can own it. But also like cancel culture and everything, people always try to cancel you, but I'm not some fraudulent little bitch. Like, I'm not ashamed of the shit that I've said. And you know, at the beginning, like, I did things for attention. I did things for attention, especially on social media. When nobody knows who you are, you do things for attention to get attention. Now it's like I've grown out of that phase. I'm just myself. That's why I don't really give a fuck about the likes and shit like that. Like, I just post just to post. Trauma dumping and shit like that is never really my cup of tea, especially this early on. And I think it's very dangerous as well to just sit there and talk about this shit that once had so much power over you. It is important to heal, but at the same time, you never fully heal. You never fully heal your wounds. And I think people need to start understanding that healing looks different for everyone. Do not sit there and expect that your healing journey will be the same as someone else. For example, there's a very like famous influencer, you guys know, like, she has her baby dad in America. Her situation is very messy, and just seeing like how her situation unfolded and how everyone's just attacking her, it just shows that you constantly need to, not constantly, but you should be very cautious with what you say on social media. And I know this is coming from me, who has been super controversial. I haven't been super controversial like that, but babes, like, I have had a friend, like, I remember I had a friend, I'll just give you an example. I had a friend and she was like, it was so weird, but she like basically tried to confront me because I had spoken shit about black men, and she was black herself. And she was like telling me, I'm just giving you an example, like, of one situation, you know. I didn't say anything crazy, and the thing is, people do not listen when you talk either. I just said that black men have color issues, and that like, I wouldn't date a black guy now in my 20s, like probably when I'm like in my late 30s or 40s. That's what I said. Like, she got mad about it, and she was like, oh, I have black brothers, or my brother's black, my dad is black. And I was like, babe, like, please, I mean, the apple doesn't fall that far from the tree, bitch. Like, but when she started to use the things that I said on social media against me, I kind of understood that she probably had friends that liked me and friends that did not like me, because it's always like been like that. That's something I've noticed, that like, people who want to be my friend, they have people in their lives who talk shit about me and don't like me, but they still want to come close to me. Like, I even remember once, this girl last year, she really wanted to be my friend. She had been stalking me and shit like that, and she had told another girl that also really wanted to be my friend that she had friends who spoke shit about her, about me basically, and things like that. And she said allegedly that her friends were the one who were writing hate comments on my page. But I was just like, babe, like, why do you want to be friends with me and hang around me and be around me when you have your main bitches over there talking mad and shit about me? Like, what are you trying to gather information for? Like, what the fuck? You fucking undercover, you weird ass bitch. Now, like, you have to be very cautious just in general. But let's get into the video, so we're not just talking about shit like that. But what I just want to say in general, you don't take advice from someone who's not where you want to be at. You have to be very cautious about the advice you take from people who are not where you see yourself being at. I would say this though, like one thing, because obviously growing up, like I've always wanted to become famous, I've always wanted to become rich, I've always thought outside of the bigger picture. But when you are someone who have a high sense of self-belief of yourself, I don't know how it is for you guys, but at a very young age I got diminished and punished for just being who I am. I kind of realized, I would say now that I realize more that being me is what gets me in trouble for some reason. And now I'm also in adulthood. I am a young adult who is still evolving and rebuilding her life and regaining confidence, because a lot of shit is happening in my life that you guys don't know about and probably won't know until like 10 years when like my shit is established and shit like that. Nobody really cares about your story, and I would say this, nobody really cares about your story until you actually make it to a solid position. Because look at this influencer here with the baby. She built her career and this image of herself having it all together, and everything fucking collapsed just like this quickly. And even if she tries to rebuild it, her credibility is fucking fucked. Even if she has people who still fuck with her, who still supports her, she has fucked up her credibility. And this is where confidence comes in, which is very important. I've always been very confident, and it's very interesting because people that I went to school with, people that I used to know, even when I didn't feel my most confident, people that I went to school with, they all keep telling me, they were like, the reason why these bitches hate on you, babe, was because you were confident as fuck. I never knew that I was confident back then. I honestly just thought I was a burden, but I have always been confident. So when I got into my adulthood and was living alone and just experiencing life, traveling and shit like that, I started to own my confidence in a way that I haven't done before. A lot of us, like, because the thing is, what sucks about life when it comes to a lot of people is that everyone have the ability to get whatever the fuck they want this life and be exactly the fuck they want this life, but we keep ourselves limited because of fear, because of distraction, because of not wanting to stand out. Because standing out gets you punished. Take it from me. Standing out and not fitting in, do you understand the type of niche bitch you actually have to be to not be able to fit in with all those basic ass bitches? The reason why people never really fuck with me was because they thought I was just extra and too much. Literally, people were like, why is she like that? People have come up to me and asked me, like, why are you like that? Like, who are you? People compare me to characters on TV when they meet me. Like, you remind me of that character on TV. Oh my god, you remind me of that, you know? People tell me that shit, guys. I'm not kidding. And this has been like ever since I was like young. But I've always just like, I've always wanted to be rich and famous and like live this lifestyle, this lavish lifestyle. Like, I've always just seen bigger things for myself. Like, always, my whole life I've always seen just bigger things for myself. It's almost as if like I wasn't allowed to enter that stage because people felt like I wasn't deserving enough to be there. And this is where my ego kind of helped me a lot, because I know a lot of people talk down on the ego thing, but I honestly believe that your ego will sometimes, or not sometimes, your ego actually will help you lead to your creativity. To be able to stand out among all the basic bitches, to be able to live truly who you are, you must own your ego. You must have a little ego. My ego has definitely led me to create my creativity. Having an ego is what actually is pursuing me to do whatever the fuck I want. You must have an ego. Sometimes that's the only thing that's missing. Yeah, people will call you egocentric, selfish and shit like that, but we are humans. When the fuck has this world ever been fair to any motherfucker? There is no one on this planet who has not sensed the feeling of unfairness. Everyone has sensed the feeling of unfairness. There's no one on this planet who hasn't sensed that shit. We all have sensed the feeling of unfairness, of being mistreated and shit like that. Like, it's a selfish fucking world. It's the human nature. This is like, it's the human life. It's the human world. Sitting there and expecting shit to always work in your favors is delusion. But delusion is key to success. So having an ego for me helped me a lot. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like, the only thing that was missing in my life was having an ego. When I didn't have an ego, I was looking at people pleaser. People was really taking advantage of me. People felt like, because you know, some people, when it comes to me. I know that, and I'm taking myself as an example as someone who has been a people pleaser, as someone who has been bullied. I've been so bullied, guys. I've been so harassed. I have been mistreated. I'm not even respected like by my family. Like, my family does not respect me either. I'm fierce, I'm bold, I am a mirror back to any of you insecure fucking trafficking ass bitches. I will constantly remind you motherfuckers of the shit that you haven't adapted into. That's just what it is, because I own who the fuck I am, okay? I'm not walking around trying to be liked by any of y'all. Do you guys think I really give a fuck? Shit, I'm posting my videos, I'm getting 200 views. Okay? Am I worried about that shit? No. In my mind, I'm like, wait, these bitches are fuck with me. 200 people watch my videos. That's a lot of shit, you know. But people try to bully me. People try to, like, tell me that, oh, no one watches you, no one cares for you, la la. Why are you so worried about my shit? Why are you so worried about, like, you know, like, I know people are watching me. You come over here trying to make me feel bad for my social media, or for the way the shit I post and shit like that, but I'm not posting for you. I'm not posting for you. Everything I do in this life is for me first, you know? And seeing that other people fuck with that shit heavily, it means something, doesn't it? Because why the fuck are you watching me, diva? Why? You know, why? Why? You know, in this life, you kind of have to recognize that you are that bitch, because no one else will recognize it for you. Someone may tell you it, but no one will ever convince you that you are that bitch if you don't convince yourself. I'm telling y'all, me having my ego now and building that shit and earning that shit for myself is one of the things that definitely has helped me pursue the life that I want. Even though things is not going as fast as possible, it's not going like fast. You don't want to be that bitch who has a career that blows up like this, because in any minute that shit can just die down. Credibility is something you have to build over time, and that is built through trust and vulnerability. People want to sense that you are a vulnerable bitch. Nobody wants to, like, be connected to a hardcore bitch. Listen, like, I know that I'm very, like, hardcore and cold and shit like that, but babe, I'm so sensitive and I'm so emotional deep. I can read people like a book. I can read rooms like a fucking book. I sense differences in tones. I can read people immediately. I'm not stupid. I see everything. Some people know this is everything, you know? Babe, like, I was like, it's just what it is. And when it comes to, like, being a selfish bitch and shit like that, all the connections that I made in this life, I made them myself. I didn't wait for anyone to, like, help me. I didn't wait for anyone to, like, come, let's travel together. I didn't wait for anyone. I didn't give a fuck about waiting for any of you motherfuckers to actually start. I have friends telling me, oh yeah, when I travel, when I do this, when I do this, then I will start, and I was like, babe, like, if you really want something, then go after it. Just do it. Do it. Break the fucking ice, bitch. All the wealthy people that I met, especially the women, because I've been mostly connected to women in a serious matter where we actually have had a friendship. I met them because I chose to go alone to places. One of them that I've spoken about briefly as well, she was very, and I know people are like, oh, how did you get a mentor? How did you get a mentor? Babe, like, I didn't go and chase for a mentor like that. I went to places, I went out, and I just stood out among all the basic hoes, and they noticed me and I noticed them, and the conversation began and friendship eventually grew. You know, that's just what it is. You cannot force a relationship with someone. That's something I've noticed. People constantly try to force relationships when shit is supposed to happen naturally. You cannot force something, you know. You have to let time show you results and consistency. We only want to trust consistency in this bitch. The one thing I remember, I will tell you guys an incident that this woman told me once. I remember, I think she had traveled to, like, North America somewhere. I remember she told me, she was like, the woman who was cleaning the room, like, there was a woman that was a cleaner with such a bad attitude. And then I remember she told me, she was like, this is why you have to work hard and get the things you want this life, because the people at the bottom are the ones who have the time to try to provoke you, to be angry, and to try to get a reaction out of you. When you are at the bottom, people have time for all the calculating shit. People have time to be a hating ass bitch. People have time, you know, to not like you. When you're a fly bitch with motion, when you're rich and busy bitch, you don't stay occupied by anyone who doesn't fucking serve you any purpose. Because I remember she told me, she was like, this is why you have to be at top. This is why you have to be, not have to be rich or have to be on top in the shallow sense. But when you are at the bottom, you are surrounded with bottomless people. You are surrounded with the bottom people. Being surrounded with people at the bottom, that shit is surviving mode. That shit is struggling mode. That shit is just negativity on top of fucking negativity. And I'm not saying at the top it's better, but babe, at the top it's lonely, you know. You don't have people cackling in your ears the same way people do when you are at the fucking bottom, you know. People who are at the top, they don't have time. They don't have time to hate, to communicate, to be racist and shit like that. They need to do business with whoever is ready to make them more money, with whoever is ready to provide something better for them. You constantly need to believe that you are capable of getting better things. People will try to bring you down to their level. Trust me, I'm a very reactive person, but over this span of years, I'm kind of realizing the way I actually need to control, like the way I react and who I give my time to and who I let into my life. I've been too open and vulnerable in a sense of, not too open like emotionally like that, but I've been emotionally open to receiving. But not everything is, you know, good energy. Not everything you feel like you want to receive or you feel like you deserve to receive is what you need at the moment, or is what you like. There's different ways of the way you need things to come to your life. And for me, like, I definitely have learned a lot from my shit, but also a lot of like I have to rebuild. Fuck, it's just a lot, divas. When you own who you are and when you are just like very like successful, because successful looks different in every layers, but to be successful, you have to be successful in who you are. You have to leave an impression of who you are with just silence. You don't need to talk too much about what you do. People always ask me, what do you do, what do you do? And I'm just like, I do me, darling. Like, my job is just being me, because my job is being me. Can you guys, like, I can't get a new job. People are like, oh, are you not going to work? Like, don't you want to study and shit like that? Babe, I don't care about school like that. There's nothing there to teach me. There's nothing there I care enough to learn. I'm the type of person, the way I study and learn is going out, traveling, meeting people, and learning from these rich women. And no offense to any of you academic bitches, honestly, seriously, kudos to you. I wish I was one of those bitches who could sit in the library and study and learn things like that, but I'm just not built like that, you know. And if I truly wanted to, trust me, I would have been a lawyer. Like, if I truly wanted to, I would have been a fucking lawyer. Like, I would have been a lawyer. I would have been not posting my shit and having shit like that. But that's not my calling in this life. That's not my fucking calling. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do. Freedom, okay? Freedom, 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 freedom. And freedom is something that is the most valuable things in this life. And I think sometimes we tend to underestimate the sacrifices we actually make for freedom. Because even though freedom looks so fucking beautiful in theory, like when we think about freedom, we think of, in theory, we're like, oh my god, so fucking beautiful and shit like that. Because I'm telling y'all, like, I feel like for me, freedom, it meant basically sacrificing everything that was draining me. Like, freedom for me meant sacrificing everything that was draining me. Because it sounds beautiful in theory, which it is, but in reality, like, getting freedom usually comes from instability, loneliness, fucking grief, bitch. Grieving, financial pressure, uncertainty, like temporary dependence, rebuilding identity from scratch. Like, you really need to fucking rebuild and regain and earn your fucking confidence. I'm telling y'all, life isn't easy for a successful rich bitch. You have to struggle, you have to learn, you have to develop. Like, even this, like these rich women I've spoken with, like, when they tell me their story, babe, like, I know one of them, she slept on the floor. She told me, she was like, she was sleeping on the floor. People have been through it. I know one of them, like, when she started to work, she was only making like $9 an hour. I think even less. I think she was making even less. I think it was even less. Like, I don't remember exactly, but it was under $10 an hour, and she wasn't even working many hours. She was working like as a receptionist. Like, she was broke. She was sleeping on the floor. Now she's rich as fuck. She's rich. But I'm telling y'all, Anyone who knows me, if you're a day one or if you're here now, you're still a day one, because this is the day ones era. You know that I have lived a life. Like, I have lived a life. I've lived a life. I've lived so many fucking lives, and I've made sure to provide that shit for myself. But now it's like, okay babe, like now honestly, because I'm telling y'all, this is also why like I'm very like protective of my ego now, because my ego is what would constantly keep me attached to my creativity. And there's part of my creativity that I haven't yet discovered yet, because I'm still low-key in survival mode. I've been in survival mode my whole life, so for me it's like peace still feels a little bit unfamiliar, you know, because I'm just like, fuck, like I'm so, you know, it's, I would take it lady something, and I know a lot of you guys can probably relate to this, but it's very easy to get blinded by your anxiety. I'm very blinded by anxiety. I have a lot of anxiety, but I constantly try to regulate myself, because I'm like, babe, like this is not how life is going to be. It's just temporary. It's just temporary. Your life will turn beautiful, but the middle crisis, like you must go through like a middle crisis before shit actually turns beautiful. Nothing is beautiful at the beginning. Shit needs to be ugly before it turns beautiful, okay? That's just what it is. Just like a butterfly. A butterfly first is nasty as fuck. It's a fucking worm. But then all of a sudden the wings are popping up in powerful colors and she's flying high as fuck. And when you see a butterfly, you're like, oh my god, a butterfly. Oh my god, does this mean something? You know what I mean? Like, babe, like please. This is therapy for me too. Because I need to fucking regulate my emotions. Like, damn, like, you know, being blinded by anxiety, it's like you're just so stuck on what's already there that you almost see yourself as a burden, you see yourself as a failure, and you have to constantly remind yourself and stop yourself from thinking like that. You know, like I have a lot of trauma. I have a lot of trauma is still unhealed, but I am healing in a sense of way, because babe, I'm feeling better. Like honestly, like when it comes to me and people in my family, no offense to those motherfuckers if they watch this video, but like I'm the richest one of all of them. I'm the richest one, the most successful one, and I'm also the one who will live furthest away from them. I don't mind, like I don't care about being in contact with any of them, because I just don't really care that deeply. Like in my mind I'm always like, whatever, one day I will make my own family and I will have a better ending story, you know. This is why I'm not scared of death either. Death doesn't scare me, death doesn't intimidate me. Obviously if someone in my family dies, I would probably cry and shit like that, but it would just make me to a stronger, better person. Like I would just have a rebirth and then I'll be good, I guess. But I'm not really scared or intimidated by death, because honestly, like babe, like this is what I'm trying to do the best I can in this life. And if there's another life, I even don't want to come back, but who knows, maybe my soul will be home next life, feel at home. Because if I'm coming back, babe, I need to be dancing. I need to be dancing more than fucking survive, because what the fuck. I think just in general as a woman, it is important to build an ego. For the whole time, women has been thought to be quiet, to be calm and shit like that. Listen, people get very triggered by my femininity and people hate on me. You know, people try to insult me, people try to like attack me, calling me, you know, a man, masculine, or telling me that I'm not like a woman enough. The way I am, like I'm very feminine in my style, in the way I dress, in the way I talk, in the way I sit, in the way I act. But I'm so confident. I give a boss bitch aura. That's just what it is. So people constantly try to demonize me for being the woman that I am. I also think because I'm also like a black woman and a darker skin complexion, and I want you guys to understand something. Not because I never think about skin complexion like that like that is what's limiting me. Because babe, if I am like this dark, this confident, and I'm black, babe, like you should have, like you should learn from this and have the balls. Because I get punished for being this. I get punished, I get insulted. People constantly project things on me that's not true. People constantly try to attack me, try to make me feel less of just like my feminine energy. Like my femininity triggers people so fucking much. I don't think you guys understand. Like it triggers people so fucking much, but my femininity is what constantly keeps me put together, constantly makes me know that I have something to go for. Being in your feminine energy is what will make you get everything you want this life. I've always been into makeup, I've always been into maintenance and shit like that, and hair and fashion. Ever since I was a young kid, I've always just been into that shit, you know. And I guess the reason why I've always been so attracted to like appearance and maintenance and like beauty rituals, aesthetics, and creating content alive and creating an image, you know, or world around myself. In a sense of way, it helps me feel control of myself. Like those are the one thing that makes me feel control of myself. Because when you grow up being told constantly that you are too much and shit like that, I cannot control the narrative that people have of me, you know. That's just what it is. I am very, very, very aware that like of the perception people have of me. Babe, like when I tell y'all I am a bad fucking bitch, like it doesn't matter like what I say, what these motherfuckers have to say. Everyone, every fucking one who has ever tried to make me feel small has been smaller than me. It's just what it is. It's a fact. It's a fact. Because I am that bitch. I have earned my confidence. I have earned this ego to lead me to my creativity that has made me able to express myself exactly the way I feel like I want to. And that is me taking my power back, bitch. People constantly try to make me feel smaller because I am bigger than them. I'm bigger than a program, darling. This is why I'm making my own program. I'm not walking around trying to be liked by any of you motherfuckers. I'm not going to job interviews trying to be liked or getting an interview from any of you motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck about that stupid job. You know, when people fire me and they think something hurt me, babe, nothing has hurt me about that job. You're not realizing that I am that bitch? You're not realizing that? Matter of fact, they did realize that. That's why I couldn't stay. One thing with me though that I've had like an issue with is I always tend to isolate myself a lot. People always think I'm just like this strong ass bitch. Like I feel like no one fully sees me for who I am. And I also think it is because it's just been safer for me to not show fully who I am. Because I've been always judged and criticized for just being exactly who I am. I told you at the beginning of this video, being me has always led to problems. But this is why it's also very important to not leak your energy to people who will not fucking take well care of it. When you are magnetic and you stand out among all these fucking fraudulent ass bitches, babe, you need to protect your energy. Your energy is fucking gold, you know. You cannot vibrate that shit out to anyone. Matter of fact, when it comes to me, I don't even need to vibrate my energy. Just when I step my foot with the right foot into the fucking room, babe, because I'm always stepping with the right foot first, my aura will speak for me before I even say or introduce myself. I don't need an introduction, baby. You will remember me. You will remember me. You will remember me. Babe, like I don't even need to seek attention. Like it's not that deep, you know. Like this is why, like it's not even that deep. And honestly, like when people try to like bully me and tell me, oh, you don't have any views and shit like that, like about my social media, I am so happy that I'm still very niche. Because if I had like now, like let's say for example, I'm not ready to blow up yet. Like babe, I don't know how I would handle it. Like even now, like you know, some people they were like, because I remember when I had to work and I got fired, I went live once like on TikTok. My ex-work co-workers entered the chat writing a bunch of hate comments. They all were men, by the way. How gay. It's like, do you want to be me, or do you just like, that's like you want to be me? Because I promise y'all, men want to be us women. Men want to be us women, you know. Women want to be women, men want to be women as well. Everybody wants to be a woman, especially if you are a sexy fly goddess with confidence just like me. You will want to be like me, because you will ask yourself, how the fuck does this bitch have so much confidence? Where does this confidence come from? People ask me, like I have had people call me and tell me, you are so fucking confident, like you are so fucking confident. And I have never ever spoken once about confidence to them, and they still sense the fucking energy. I'm telling y'all, I have worked into workplaces being the only woman wearing heels. The next day all those bitches went to H&M, Zara, showed me the same black stiletto heels that I was wearing, asking for my fucking approval. All those bitches start to wear heels and skirts and fucking dresses and shit like that. Being around me will make you want to elevate yourself. Being around me will motivate you to do better, because I will constantly remind you, of the shit that you let go of yourself. You guys have to keep in mind, confidence, just in general, confidence is the only thing you need in this life. Talking like this, I know you guys feel my shit. Now, there will be some people who will say, oh, she's putting up an act, she's putting up an act. People sit there and think you're putting up an act of who you are. You can always sense when shit isn't real, you know, but some people just don't fuck with you because they just don't fuck with you. But when it comes to me, I don't really give a fuck what people say, because I know that I am building credibility long term. My fucking life, my journey in this life, and the shit that I get at the end will actually prove the results, and the shit I was talking about wasn't some fraudulent ass shit. Yeah, okay, I am a little bit controversial, shit like that, but babe, you need controversy in your life, okay? You cannot be a polished ass bitch like that. Nobody wants to be, like, you should never appear too perfect. I'm not trying to appear perfect to you motherfuckers. You think I give a fuck about appearing perfect to you motherfuckers? Who gives a fuck? I don't care about being perfect for any of y'all. The fuck? You controversial. You guys need to understand that I am someone, I don't lack self-love, I don't lack confidence. That's why when, you know, my life, I told you I'm going through a lot of shit right now that is stressing me out and making me blinded by anxiety, because my pride, I'm a very proud individual. I'm very proud of who I am. So when shit just kind of like disrupt everything, and I need to rebuild stability, I need to regain confidence, and I need to rebuild where I'm heading and shit like that, like everything that I've ever known now is breaking down, and I need to fucking rebuild everything when it comes to everything in this life, when it comes to my confidence and shit like that, because I'm realizing that the surviving mode I've been on is not fucking long lasting. It's not what would take me where I want to be, because being stuck in survival mode constantly is what will actually eventually make sure, like, the universe will make sure that that shit breaks, and you will have to rebuild yourself. Because being blinded by anxiety is like you cannot see where it's heading, even though it's temporary, the situations you are in, because nothing is really permanent. If you are a fly bitch with motion, being a fly bitch with motion means that shit will get resolved for you. It's just a test for you. It's just a test. Remember, I told y'all one of the most wealthiest people I know in my life, she was sleeping on the floor. On the floor, you know. I still have a roof, but like she was sleeping on the floor, like at the office after work, and she's a millionaire, like millies, probably going to the billies. So confidence is very powerful. And the reason why people get so triggered by a fly bitch who is very confident in general is because a lot of people lack confidence in the elements of their lives. That's something we tend to underestimate. People lack confidence in the elements of their lives. And when you are someone who stands out, because I'm telling y'all, whatever it is you want to do, just fucking do it. Just do it. Just do it. Okay, I'm just gonna make like this last part, because I just want to talk also like about dating a little bit. I'm not like a financial person who talks about financial and shit like that. I'm not here trying to give you financial advice and shit like that, okay? I'm just talking from my own experiences and what I've been learned. So, to all my ladies out there, just like your friends define who you are, show me your friends, I will show you future, babe. Show me who your men are, and I will see how you value yourself, babe, okay? In general, I know we talk a lot about, oh, date a rich guy and shit like that, and the sprinkle, whatever the fuck. When it comes to dating, this is what I've been told. And this is also, I've learned this, okay? Because, babe, like, I have dated men, and I'm not the type of woman, like, even my friends, they call me a nun. They're always like a nun. They're like, you're a nun. Why are you acting like a nun? Like, you're a fucking nun. Like, go and date, go and do this, go and do that. But I was lucky enough to learn from my mistake when I was 18, 19, because back then, like, I dated a guy, a man who was older than me, and after that I learned so hard. So now that I am in this adulthood as a woman, I know a lot more about how to like date men, especially now. Like, I'm kind of like regulating my emotions a lot more deeper and understanding the way I actually should move more. But first of all, when you are around like when you are a teenager, okay, that's like teenage love, whatever. Then when you are like in your late teens or whatever, if you're dating, I feel like if you are around like 18, 17 is still a fucking kid. 18 to like 22, you're still like very young and naive and stupid. Even like now, 24, 25, like look at Liz. She was 25 when everything happened. So like, I don't know, I think it just depends on your maturity level in general. But I would tell you guys this: make sure that you have your experiences as young as possible, whatever the fuck. Some of you maybe already have passed it, some of you maybe have never dated. I was the type of girl, like no guy ever wanted to date me, no guy ever looked at me. I was never the one who really had anyone. Like no one really had done anything with me. No man has really like interacted with me in a romantic way, because first of all, I was very insecure. So the fact of just going on a date with a guy as a young girl, like as a teenage girl, was terrifying for me because I wasn't confident. I didn't know how to act. I was just nervous as fuck. All my friends, they lost their virginity at like 14, 13, and they had like a lot more experiences when it came to guys. I only got like, I didn't have it. Like my experiences started when I was basically like 18, 19, and now it's been evolving. But I'm kind of happy that I started like a little bit later than people. Anyways, shit, whatever. And one thing I kind of learned, and listen, I have taken advantage of men. I will tell you guys this: growing up, all my friends were broke. Like they come from broke families, poor families. And I'm not saying this to be rude, but like when they came to my home where my parents lived, all of them told me that I was rich. They were like, you are fucking rich. People said that I was rich, you know. People literally told me that I was rich. I was the only one living in a big ass house. You know what I mean? My dad was driving a nice car when he was picking me up from school. Like, but because I was so attached to the ghetto lifestyle, to the hood lifestyle and shit like that, I kind of felt like, oh my god, I want to be a part of it. Even though I went to like my dad put me in an all-white private school, I grew up structurally advantaged. Okay, I grew up structurally advantaged with privileges of a well-structured, thanks to my parents. Now my parents have not been good parents to me. That's just what it is. I don't care. They haven't been good parents to me. But financially, I have never struggled, ever. I will say this: my parents are very stingy. They haven't given me anything. Like I have spoiled myself. So everything you see me have is what I have bought for myself. You know, I used to do lashes. I was a lash tech. I used to work multiple jobs. I worked as a waitress. I've even worked as McDonald's. So when I was friends with all these girls, they all had sugar daddies. They all had men spoiling them and shit like that. I bought my first designer bag when I was turning 21? Turning 22. So when I was 21, that's when I bought like my nano vanity purse that's like this petite. That's when I bought like my first bag, and I got it for like what? For like 600. It was cheap. I bought it from Vaster Collective. But my friends already had Chanel bags. They had like Gucci bags and shit like that, because you know they were meeting men who were buying them, things like that. But they were young, like they were young, and I didn't have any experiences with dating and things like that. So for me, just going out with like an older man was so scary. But when you are, show me your friends, I will show you your fucking future. Fast forward, what I've learned from this wealthy woman, because I always have been very open about certain things. And you know, there's still people from my past life who tries to like minimize my accomplishments and tell me, oh, why don't you tell people? Because I remember I went live once and this girl said to me, she was like, why don't you tell people? She commented, I know exactly who she is, I know who it is, it was a fake account, but I dreamt about her confessing to me in the dream that it was her. I knew instantly who it was. But she said, she was like, why don't you tell everyone that your sugar daddies are the ones who, you have sugar daddies who spoil you with your lifestyle. And I was like, babe, like if I had a sugar daddy spoiling me, I would be on a yacht right now. Like Do not come up to me and tell me that me traveling is the sugar that is spoiling me. Like, are you okay? I would have been having a Chanel bag. I would have been having a Birkin. Also, I got very offended by it. And I didn't get offended by it because she called me like a sugar baby. I just got offended by it because I just felt like if I really was a sugar baby, I would have finessed these men. I got offended by it a little bit. Not like in the way because like I got mad. I just felt like, why are you underestimating me as a woman? Like, I'm powerful as fuck. I can get whatever the fuck I want from this man. And let me tell you guys something. I have received a lot of shit from men. You receive so much more when you don't crack your pussy for these men. You receive a lot more from these men when you don't crack your pussy. I'm telling y'all, you receive a lot more. And I definitely learned this because, as I told you guys, I started to date this man when I was 18, 19. He definitely sold like a fancy to me, but I also was curious and I kind of liked him and I was attracted to him. So it wasn't like something like, you know, he wasn't like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like that. But one thing I quickly learned by dating him, he was a lot more financially advanced than me. So he would constantly use like money and things like that to kind of like provoke reactions to me, but he never spoiled me. He never bought me anything. He never gave me any money. And even when he gave me money, it wasn't even a lot of money. It was just like a little money. And in arguments, he would try to like use that against me. And I was just like, what the fuck? I was like, babe, like you gave me $50. Like, are you okay? 50 euros? You give me 50 euros, you're bragging about this shit, but then you're about to brag about how much your sofa costs almost 10K. You are fucking embarrassing. I mean, I should have known better. This man had been in prison. Like, what? How fucking embarrassing. Trying to make it seem like he was depressed. Like, he was constantly talking to me as if he was depressed. And yes, babe, but we haven't been in contact. We haven't met. When was the last time we met? 2021, 5 years ago. We haven't met ever since then. And it wasn't even like a long relationship. It wasn't even a relationship. It was a situationship. It was a situationship. And I learned from that, like now looking back. Because I think, I wouldn't say I was in love with him. But like I was young, I was naive. I guess I was a little bit blinded by the idea of like what it could be. I think I was just more emotionally attached to him than what he was with me. He's a lot more emotionally attached to me now because I actually have fully moved on for the better. Because I was 18, 19, I'm 24, turning 25 now. Like, I'm a grown-ass woman now. Like, looking back from my 18-year-old self and who I am now, I'm completely different. Nobody recognizes me anymore. Anyone who used to know me, this is why, you guys know, like, I have ex-friends, ex-best friends, who's walking around town, meeting up people, and talking shit about me. People I haven't been friends with since I was 18, 19. Walking around talking shit about me. Like, I don't know, I think it's weird, but this is also where we come back to what the rich lady told me. People are at the bottom have time to talk mad shit. Babe, like, the people, and let me just say, the people who are talking about me, because I don't have like, I have a crazy reputation, but my reputation is only based on my personality. It's not based on like crazy things. It's not based on like me doing like crazy things. My reputation is only based on what people do not like about me, which is me standing out. That's what it is. But the real motherfuckers, they fuck with me. Babe, when I am walking into an event, when I'm walking into somewhere, people wonder who the fuck I am. I get upgraded to first class, babe. You know? Like, I get a nice table when I enter a restaurant, darling. I have wine bottles coming to my table for free for me and my bitches, not even knowing who sent it. I have the waitress coming to me and telling me, excuse me, madam, the gentleman over there, he wants me to give you a card. I have shit like that happening to me. I've been telling y'all. I'm telling y'all. What do you guys think this is? I'm a bad bitch, you know? So it is what it is. But when it just comes to dating, personally for me, I'm very selective with who I give my energy to, especially after that experiences. I feel like that experience really taught me so much when I was 18, 19. That trifling man, he taught me so much. Also, like, he really motivated me because I remember when I entered his apartment and the way he just was and the way he dressed, even though like he has a nasty reputation actually, because he's been convicted in prison, babe. Like, he's actually like a convicted felon, so he has a bad reputation, but he definitely rebuilt his life around it. And you know, I mean, is he rich? Yeah, he is, but he's not like rich, but he has money. But he's too, I don't like him. But anyways, but I would say like all the men that I've dated definitely have motivated me for a better life. But the thing is, also one thing about me is that I quickly understood that it's very dangerous to date men only purely based on money, because they will constantly try to use that to control you. I remember when I got in contact with this man again, when was it? Maybe 3 years ago, I believe. Yeah, I was like 20, I was 21 still. Oh my god. Fuck. Yeah, it was 3 years ago, kind of. I remember when I was talking, yeah, it was 3 years ago. I was 21, I was talking with him, and I was telling him all my plans. This was before I even met Sophia. And I was telling him, yeah, I'm going to South of France, I'm going to London, I'm going here. And I remember he used to constantly ask me, how can you afford everything? Where do you get your money from? How can you afford everything? And I remember one girl, like one of my friends, she even told me, she was like, why the fuck does he keep asking you how you can afford shit? Is he threatened? Like, does he feel threatened by the fact that you actually can afford the lifestyle you want to live? Is he threatened with the fact that you actually have money? Like, why does he keep asking it, you know? And I was doing lashes, I was lash tech babe, like I was making a lot of money. Just a fly young bitch living her best life, even though like everything always crashes it for me. I was still making it very good for myself and living independently and just having like an independent life. I've always been very independent overall. I have a very strong energy of being an independent woman. It's just what it is. But it kind of taught me just in general to be very careful about the men that I date. I think it's very dangerous to date men based on purely money. And with him, I learned quickly that you don't want to date a guy who has money and you have nothing, because he will always have the upper hand. Even the fact that I was constantly spending time at his place, it just shows that he had the upper hand. The person you spend most of the time at is the one who has most of the power. That's just what it is. That's just what the fuck it is. And it kind of taught me to not be too fucking obsessed with money, even though I would never date a broke man, and that would never happen, because they rarely, well, some of them try. Like, men are like that. Men will always have the audacity, but the men who really are willing to prove themselves to me usually have it well financially. But even then, they're always very flashy. Like I've told you guys, like I have rejected like very wealthy men, you know. And even one of these wealthy women that I know, she told me, she was like, don't date too old men. And this is where like my dating skills had come from as well. She told me this. She was like, first of all, you don't date men that are too old. This is why it's also very dangerous to have sugar daddies and shit like that, because usually they're a lot more older, they have a lot more money, they don't have the same ego as young men have, because older men are already accomplished and secure, so financially they already feel good about themselves, you know. Especially if you're dating like a real sugar daddy who has money, you know, not this, like, you know, I'm talking about like, now I'm talking about the money calibre, okay? I'm talking about the men who actually have like money, who live nicely, who could go and buy you a Chanel bag, okay? Like, I'm talking about those types of men. And she even told me, she was like, don't date these older men because they're way too smart. Older men are a lot more smarter, a lot more experienced. They're not stupid, they're not naive. They know that you only want, they know what you want from them, but they will make sure, and this is not only older men, but most men will make sure that they get so much out of you without doing anything for you. And that's exactly what happened to me when I was 18, 19. Looking back now, I wouldn't say I did a lot because I was the biggest bitch. Like, imagine this grown-ass man, he used to block me constantly because my only goal was to make him hate me. My only goal was to make him hate me and make me dislike me. So I would just be the most cruel, meanest bitch. But also that came from emotional reactions that he had provoked into me, because I actually did like him. I definitely wasn't in love, because I do believe that when you are in love, you love yourself first. When you love yourself first and you start dating men, that are actually good for you and that will actually work for you. And that means making choice-based decisions, okay? So it's not based on impulse. Okay, it's based on choice-based connection. You actually sitting back thinking to yourself, okay, is this person good for me? But we will get there, because now we're talking about what to actually avoid. Don't date two old men. Don't date two old men. They're too smart. They know what you want. They will take advantage of you, and you will most likely not get everything you want this life, because women tend to be naive and fall into the fairy tale. Okay, but that could also happen with a young guy. Like, men are very good at manipulating women in general, but women are a lot more smarter. The only issue is that we tend to be so fucking attached to our emotions, and we tend to have so much ego. And I know I spoke about ego earlier, but that was more ego about being self-driven. There's different types of ego you usually need to adapt and train in your mind. Okay, one of my ego is also one of the things that's made me so emotionally reactive, which is one thing I have acknowledged and is working on to regulate now, to become a lot more zen. Because keep in mind, people at the bottom, they have time to react and provoke and be like that. When you're at the top, you don't have time to give a reaction. You don't have time to let people provoke you. You are so confident and secure in the woman that you are and the person that you are, that getting a reaction from you should be the most hardest thing ever. You never want to sacrifice the enemy, confuse the enemy. Don't react. Then fast forward, she told me what I've been told is to never date a guy that is too good looking. And this is very interesting, because I remember when I had a job, I love this video already because I'm talking about like 6,000 things. Ooh, I'm getting hot in here. I remember when I used to have a job, there was this girl who used to work there, and she is cute, but she's very big, like very big, and very insecure and just stupid. And then I asked her, but she's blonde and has like green eyes, and I'm just like, babe, like the potential is there. Lose that fucking fat, you're fucking done. You can take over the world. And I even told her that. I even said it to her face. I'm not talking shit, you know. I'm a very blunt, honest person. Now I said it in a way that was nice, obviously. I try my best, but I told her, like, I was like, babe, like, you're blonde, you have green eyes, lose the fat, you will be that bitch and dump that guy, and you will get everything you want this life. Anyways, and I remember she showed me a picture of her boyfriend. She even told me, she was like, he doesn't want to have sex with me, he doesn't want to sleep with me. I remember she even told me that, like, when they were going out and he went to buy drinks for her, he asked her to send the money back. And I was like, what the fuck? And we were talking, the girls were like, babe, what type of man is this, you know? And she started to get anxiety, because we all were like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Because there was this girl at my job, she didn't show up, but like, I was like, but she told me, she was like, she knew that I was, oh, because I used to get so happy for her, because I used to ask her, like, why the fuck did you not show up? And she was like, because I was with my boyfriend, but he took me shopping and he spent money on me. And I was like, okay, girl, like, and I even told her, I was like, let's just say her name is Anna, the girl who didn't show up to work. I even told the blonde girl, I was like, Anna sometimes doesn't show up to work, but when she's not showing up to work, her boyfriend is paying her. Her boyfriend is paying her. Boyfriend is taking her shopping, buying things for her. You know, like, at least she's not staying home to stay broke. She's staying home and getting still money from a man. But anyways, and this girl, when she showed me her boyfriend, the blonde girl, when I tell you guys, I was stunned. I told her immediately, I was like, babe, your boyfriend is too hot for you. He's too pretty. Like, he had muscles. You could see he was working out. And I was like, oh my God, poor woman. I was like, poor girl. She doesn't even realize this. She's dating him because she's so insecure. And I remember these wealthy women, they have told me, a lot of them have said the same thing to me. Now, he wasn't rich or anything like that, or had like money. He was young, like we the same age as like me and her or whatever, like in their early 20s. But I remember, like, they told me, like, you don't want to date a guy who's too good looking, especially if he is successful, because all the women will be all over him. Okay, that's what she told me. All the women will be all over him, and you don't want to date someone who's also better looking than you. I feel like that's also a sign of like insecurity. Because why do you care so much about dating someone who's more good looking than you? Like, babe, like, as a woman, you constantly need to remind yourself, as the prize, you always have to keep in mind that you're the one who actually look better. So act like it, and don't, I don't know. Plus, most of the time when a man is very attractive, he knows he's very attractive because he constantly gets told that he's attractive, most of the time people tend to, I don't know why it is like this, but I just have noticed that people tend to boost more men's egos about their looks than what they do with women. You know, so with men it's more like a charming way, with women it's more a hateful way. If you're an attractive woman, people will try to break you down, and mostly it's other women, because women tend to be more meaner to other women than they are to men. They would lick ass for a dusty creepy man who's probably gay, who probably wants to be a woman himself. I'm telling y'all, like, yeah, when you are dating a guy, make sure that you're dating the one who's just best for you. And no situationships at this grown-ass age, in my opinion. I cannot do situationships and shit like that because I'm very sensitive. I don't like cracking my pussy to whoever and whenever. Like, honestly, like, babe, like, I need to know that you actually love me and fuck with me heavily and want shit to be good for me. Who cares, honestly? I was going to talk deeper about this. I feel like no one really cares, honestly. I think I'm over this video now. One thing I will say, never be too impressed by them, never be too impressed about money, never talk about money to them, never mention money to them. Just look like money and that's it. He will fucking understand it. But also do not get too blinded by money, do not get too impressed by money, because most of these men, they will constantly try to impress you with money. Alright guys, I'm done with this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you guys want more dating tips and shit like that. I don't have really any tips to give to y'all. Figure this shit out by yourself. Because honestly, like, I'm not here to give you tips about dating. Don't take my advice when it comes to that shit. I just gave you the advice that I've been told by other wealthy women that I've been taking, and so far it has been helping me. But there's a lot of shit that I, like, yeah, whatever. Anyway, subscribe, like, comment, follow me on my social medias. If you care enough, just watch and stare and look at me, get everything I want this life. Anyways. Beso, beso, beso.